Hi guys, welcome back to Below Par with myself, Joe Lovery. So a little bit of a lighter video today, and we're just looking at some trends that we're expecting to see when we get back to golf in 2021. So guys, before I start the video, we'd really appreciate it if you were to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Certainly if you find yourself coming back to watch more of our videos, it helps us out, helps us know as well what content you guys are watching, and then also helps us grow, hopefully allowing us to produce some more content then later in the year that will be extremely exciting. So this video then is all about golf trends and what we're expecting to see in 2021. Now I've got three things that sprung to my mind earlier when I was planning the video. If there's anything I've missed and you think trend-wise that you're expecting to see going into this year, do let us know in the comments below. I want to have the comment section open so that we can interact with you, but equally so we can get your thoughts and feelings, and actually we might have to do another video on this if there's more than just these three. Interestingly also, we'd like to hear your thoughts on these three, because I think certainly one of them or two of them are quite controversial. So it'd be interesting to see what you think in the comments below. So the first thing then I'm expecting to see going into this year is people wanting to play longer length drivers. Now I think we've got Bryson DeChambeau to thank for this. He obviously, I think he's still leading the driving stats in terms of distance this year. He is obviously a very unique way of playing golf. You know, we've only got to look at the clubs that he's using with the massive grips and the unique movement, all the same length. You know, he really does like to push the boundaries, and I think it's great. I think it's great for the game. I know a lot of people have different opinions of Bryson, but I think he's an important character to have in the game. Equally, it's nice to see a young lad doing so well out on the tour. In the last couple of years, he's really pushed on with his distance, trying to hit the ball further. In fairness to the guy, we have seen this pay off with multiple wins, and equally his world ranking shooting up compared to what he was when he was so much lighter than what he is now. I remember the reaction that players and coaches were saying on the range when Bryson turned up having gained all that weight and suddenly he looked like a completely different animal. And I think people now are treating him like a completely different animal. He's no longer just that guy that's using some crazy golf equipment. He actually is well respected, I believe, for what he's doing. Now obviously we saw Bryson win the US Open at Winged Foot, and we noticed there that he used his length and distance to overpower the golf course, allowing him to hit wedges into greens and therefore make the golf course seem a lot easier than perhaps what it was. So where does this then leave the club golfer? Now obviously as club golfers we all want to hit the ball further. We want to gain distance, we want to get closer to the green. Equally our courses are nowhere near as long as the courses they're playing. Using a longer driver, essentially, because it's longer, it should mean that the club head should gain more speed. Now it's not always the case, and I think this is where people are going to have to be careful. But I think there's going to be a lot of people trying that this year. I think people will go back to having a slightly longer shaft in their driver in the hope that they're actually going to start chasing a bit more distance. It's not strictly the way it works, and that's why I wanted to have the comment section open for you below so that you can let us know what your thoughts on this. I don't want to get too much into that in this video, but I think it'd be interesting to see. I'm expecting a lot more people to be using a driver that's 47 inches or 46.5 inches rather than something that's 44 or 45 inches. So interesting to see, but I'm expecting people to be using longer clubs this year to try and help chase that distance. So I think the second thing then that we're going to see lots of is more people wearing wearable golf tech. Now, these don't always obviously have to be strictly golf related. I wear an Apple Watch, which I use for the filming because I can see myself. Equally, there are, I can get fitness apps on here, or I have fitness apps on here. I've got distance devices on this as well, so when I'm on the golf course, I can see front, middle, and back. There are numerous things you can do these days from a smartwatch. I think we're going to see a lot more people wearing these on the golf course. I think we're also going to see a lot of people now investing more in distance devices, so whether it be something like a Garmin or a Bushnell in terms of laser or rangefinder. I think also we're going to see a lot of people wearing those Whoop bands that start to track things like, your heart rate, sleeping patterns. I think the game of golf is going to be evolving, and I think it's evolving because the world around it is changing so much. I think what you find now is the people that are out playing golf will also now potentially cycle or play tennis, adding other things in there rather than just being a golfer. And I think that's fantastic for the game. If golf can start to become a game where you don't just play golf, what was the stereotype was fat and lazy, right? We all had that stereotype. But you look at golf now, it's evolved, it's changing, it's becoming more athletic with the distance. People are starting to train for it to get stronger so they can swing the club faster. Notice the pros on tour now, like those guys, some of them are ripped. They are ripped, they're strong, they're fit, athletic guys. And we really need to start replicating that. And I think we're going to start seeing that more in the amateur ranks. I think we're going to start seeing more people investing in their fitness and their health and using golf as a way of, or golf as a, using that to improve their golf, but also using the golf to help improve their fitness and health. I think it's really going to work together. So we're going to start seeing lots of distance measuring devices for sure, but equally things that are tracking heart rate, steps, all those sorts of things. I'm expecting to see lots of that in 2021. Which kind of brings me on to the point in there as well. If you're somebody that hasn't yet invested in a distance measuring device or something like a smartwatch or something that you're using for golf, give it a go. Try it. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm a field player. There's no reason why having a distance of 145 couldn't actually enhance the way that you feel that shot. Yes, from 50 yards and in, you might not want a yardage. Don't look at your watch. Golf now is such a game of, or always has been a game of controlling your distances and hitting the ball to a close proximity. The only way you're going to do that now is by using what's available and what tech we have available to help enhance your game. You might not have time to stand there and learn all your yardages. You might have time to go to the range and put sticks down or flags down where each shot lands and measure it back to where you were hitting from. That's fine, you don't need to. But something like an Arcos system, for example, they've got a little sort of device that attaches to your belt, plug in the end of the grip on each club, it knows what club that is. It'll tell you at the end of the round how far you hit your 7-iron, your 8-iron. It'll tell you where you hit it on the golf course. If there's a certain par 3 that you're always coming up short and can't figure out why, use it. Great as well for when you're playing other courses. You can apply the yardages to different courses. Okay, Arcos says I hit an 8-iron 135. I thought it was 150. Great. You now figure out why a lot of your misses are short. You might not even clocked that a lot of your misses are short. You might just think that you don't hit many greens. Actually, you are in the right direction. It just needs to go that bit further. You have the club available in your bag. So I think we're going to see so much of this smart tech stuff. I think people are going to start getting a little bit more into maybe the techie side of it. And I think this is just really going to help the game. I think it's going to attract people to the game because they're going to realise it's not just an old man sport. It is actually turning into a very, very cool game, with some guys in particular having, the fashion that's coming out now is amazing. You've only got to look at the Jordan golf shoes and how much that's changing the game. And how fashion is changing within the game. It's amazing. So certainly I think tech-wise, we're going to start seeing a lot more tech in the game. Could start seeing a lot more people wearing wearable devices, a lot more people knowing their yardages, which is going to be amazing because not everyone hits a driver 300 yards, and know your 7-iron probably doesn't go 150. They're the two phrases that you always hear. So have a look when you're out there hitting some shots with one of these devices. Have a look and see how far those clubs go. So number 3 then, last point of today's video, something that I'm expecting to see as a huge trend in 2021 is the difference in golf fashion, or relaxing of golf fashion rules. Dress codes in golf have always been considered a bit of a limitation barrier. Now I'm all for dress codes, and I must stress that now. I think there has to be an element of there being a dress code. Like in cricket, for example, they wear all whites. Cricket is then taking part. I think golf needs to be careful it doesn't start going down the route of jeans being available on the golf course. I'm not quite as for that. I think that you can't wear jeans to the gym because it damages the gym equipment. Equally, I don't think you want to wear jeans playing cricket. And I think jeans playing golf wouldn't be the best move for golf. I think golf needs to uphold its dress codes in a way. However, I'm totally for golf hoodies. You only have to look at this one I'm wearing from Eagle. And this is something, again, you can wear on the golf course. And I'm fine with that. I think, though, they have to be careful with certain things. For example, what stops me wearing this or what allows me to wear this on the golf course and doesn't stop me wearing a Lonsdale hoodie, for example, or something along those lines. So, something that's not very smart or doesn't look very good. What stops that from happening. And I think that's where golf has to be a little bit careful. But golf fashion has so much moved on, even in the last 12 months. We've seen a huge difference. As I said earlier, with the Jordan golf shoes being released, we've now got trousers with elasticated bottoms. Adidas have just released a range of clothing this year that honestly looks amazing, and it's a bit of a cross-sport sort of design. You've got some t-shirts there that aren't sort of with a big collar, they've got a round neck, and then you're seeing a lot of crew neck jumpers being released. You've only got to look at Melbourne Golf, the guys from, I follow on Instagram, I follow this new sort of what I would call trend of clothing. Places like Melbourne, I think it's Fine Golf Collective, or a shop, they stock a lot of this sort of stuff. You've only got to look at Melbourne, guys like Eagle, they're starting to push the boundaries in where golf fashion is leading. It's come on so far since the early 2000s. You've only got to look at the wide trousers, some of the really baggy shirts they're wearing, the wool jumpers. Golf has come on a long way, and I think it's important we keep that trend going and we keep it becoming more inclusive so that more people take up the game. We just have to be careful it doesn't lose its heritage or its origins, what golf is about. I'm all for technology on the golf course, but we've got to be careful that people aren't walking around with their phones up to the ears all the time or texting all the time on the golf course. Golf is about spending time with the people that you are playing with in that round. And as I say, golf fashion for me doesn't impact that experience at all. If we can make it really inclusive, great. Maybe there will be some golf courses in the UK that decide that actually you could turn up wearing jeans or normal clothes. Absolutely fine if that's how the golf course wants to set themselves out. But I think it's important that we make sure that that is set out in certain areas, and then other golf courses can set their ways accordingly. But I think, again, if golf fashion is going to help attract people to the game and they go, actually, tell you what, that's really cool. You know, like I wear this hat out and about a lot, get a lot of compliments on the hat. People don't realise it's golf until they start to look at it in finer detail. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't realise golfers wear that sort of equipment or wear that sort of clothing. Great. Immediately, hopefully, they'll start to like what they're wearing. And who knows, one day we might see golf clothing out in the street like how we see football tops, or in America you might see basketball jerseys or whatever. You know, we start to see this change in culture in golf, and I think we're seeing that. So that for me then is really the three big things that I'm expecting to see change in 2021. So you've got the difference in length of driver. Even though a lot of manufacturers have gone down the sort of forgiveness route this year of MOI, I think we're going to see that changing. I think we're going to see, as I say, a lot more wearables, a lot more technology out on the golf course. And I think we're going to see a real change in fashion. Certainly footwear has moved on so much in the last 2 or 3 years alone. I can't wait to see where that's going to be in about 5 years or so. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like, give it a comment, give it a thumbs up. Be really, really appreciated. As I say, the comment section is completely open on this one. If you guys have anything that I've missed or disagree with any comments I made or want to add anything in that I've missed, do let me know. Be really interested to hear what you guys have to say. As I said, we're trying to build a bit of a community as well on our page and our channel, and we'd love for you to be part of it. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all very soon.